Hello and welcome, my Gemini friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for my friends born under the Gemini zodiac sign. Today we're going to explore what to expect from the month of October, obstacles that you're going to face, and tools that will help you get through the month. The deck, of course, that I had to choose was the Witch's Tarot. I will end the session off with an oracle blessing from the Enchanted Oracle. Like always, I will have links below to both these decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Okay, my Gemini friends, let's see what the cards have to say today. What card symbolizes the month of October? Oh, I got a jumper for my Gemini friends. Oh, wonderful. The Four of Wands. It's a foundational celebratory number. It's all about that growth that you've made and all that abundance that you've created so far in your life. It very much is a fantastic card to highlight and symbolize a month. It's a beautiful card. Let's look at what the obstacles are. What obstacle do my Gemini friends face for October? Got another jumper. And that's the Emperor. He's the fourth card in the major arcana. He talks about that rigidity, the structure and routine of life. So that structure and routine is really going to hamper those wands. Those wands are your passions, that creativity. The Emperor's not so creative. He's very routine, he's very structured. So that structure is really going to hamper your ability to really let your creativity thrive. Now, we do have double fours, and in angel messages, when you're looking at the repeated fours, you're looking at a need to make sure that your structure is there, to keep yourself grounded, and to have that base to go forward. So let's look at October. What does the first part of October look like for my Gemini friends? We have another jumper. That's the King of Cups. Kings are that fully developed personality. They have the most power, the most control of their suit. And cups are about intuition and emotions. So in the beginning of October, you're going to have the ability to really connect into that intuition and control some of your emotions. In October, it's a really fantastic month because the veils start to thin. And it really does start at the beginning of October and work its way through. It hits that high point on the 31st. So it starts to thin at the beginning, and you're going to start to see the ability to really master that intuition and really start to work on those abilities to connect into the higher vibrational beings. Let's look at the middle of the month. What does the middle of the month look like for my Gemini friends? And that's the Six of Swords. Sixes are about harmony and balance. Swords are about truth and knowledge. In the middle of the month, you're looking at really trying to keep those rougher pieces, those knowledge pieces that really burden us, with the calmer. It's going to be that balancing act. The King isn't going to have as much control over the middle of the month. Those emotions that you've attached to those pieces of knowledge aren't going to be as controlled. So you're going to find that it's going to start to really make things wobble a bit. You're going to have to keep that balance. Now, looking at that balance piece, it's right above those double fours. That foundation and grounding is really going to be important and will really help you through the middle of the month. And let's look at the last piece, the end of the month. What does the end of the month look like for my Gemini friends? That's the Five of Swords. Fives are a conflictual number. Swords about truth and knowledge. Some of the stuff that you've been able to control here at the beginning of the month and you're needing to balance here, you're going to have to actually really contend with. Now, it's not as bad as it seems because the overall card is the Four of Wands. It's just pieces of knowledge that you need to purge because they're no longer helping you. Because, as we're emotional beings, we attach emotion to these swords. The swords are cold steel. They don't have emotion. They're emotionless. So we need to start to purge what isn't working. Then we can start to see great transformation with it. So let's look at the obstacles that are going to be brought forth in October. What obstacles do my Gemini friends face at the beginning of October? The World. It's the 21st card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about endings and beginnings. The major challenge here is us resisting that. Things are going well, we like it. It's going great. We have lots of party here, we have dancing, and we have great abundance. It's time to move forward and change. We don't want that. That resistance piece, Gemini, is what's really going to come up to face the king in the beginning of October. While we resist the natural cycle of change, we're going to really find that the emperor will start to stick his head out and he'll kind of become a bit of a tyrant. So then you're really going to start to, as you're resisting, no, I can't lose what I have, you're going to try and hold on to it stronger. And things aren't going to go as well as what they could. Let's look at the middle of the month. What challenges face my Gemini friends in the middle of the month? Oh, wow. So now we have the King of Swords. The Emperor is a major arcana, so it's a major life shift. He's an archetype. The King of Swords is known as his earthbound counterpart. So that rigid structure and routine is really going to come in and try and hamper you. And we're kind of compounding it because we've got the Emperor and the King of Swords. It's kind of come double force in your brain. The ego is going to hold on to that. We can't lose what we've got. We have to stick to what's happening right now, what's been working. We can't change. And you're really going to find that's going to resist that balance, and you're going to find that things get really hard when we start to resist that balance. All right, let's look at the end of the month. What challenges will my Gemini friends face at the end of the month? Oh, we got a jumper. And that's the Three of Wands. Threes are about expression and growth. Wands about that passion and creativity. At the end of the month, we're going to want to resist the Five. We're going to want to turn our back to it and walk the other way because it hurts. Fives are about that conflict. We kind of need that conflict. We really need to challenge ourselves so that we can release what isn't working. However, that's painful, and our ego is going to say, yeah, but it's so much prettier on the other side. Those are what your challenges are going to be, my Gemini friends. Let's look at how we can overcome them. What tools and supports will help my Gemini friends overcome the challenges brought forth in October? That's that Knight of Wands. Knights are that exuberant, adolescent energy that's not afraid to take on the world, is ready to take that challenge on because they are fearless. We're back to the Wands, that passion piece. So really using your passion and tapping into that energy of that adolescent, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of this change. I'm going to accept the fact that things have to change. And I'm going to really embrace the world here and embrace what the Knight has in store, and I will be able to take on this Five of Swords at the end of the month. Now, as much as these are obstacles, we can still use them as tools and supports. In the darkest hour, we still have the ability to use the obstacle to help us get over it. Similar to that, if you were going to hop a log and you could not do it in one go, you may have to climb that log. You're using that log as a tool. And that's what we can do. We can access the power and accept the world and accept the fact that, you know what, it's time for a shift. November will bring us something different. However, we need to look at what we're carrying. We don't need it all. How can we purge that? How can we get rid of what's not working? All right, and finally, what other information will help my Gemini friends go through October? And that's the Seven of Pentacles. Sevens are a conflictual number as well. They're about struggle and challenge. However, the sevens are victorious. Whereas fives are all about that challenge. The seven has victory to it. Pentacles are about growth and abundance. He's worked hard for what he's got. He had to overcome a lot. This once was barren land. He had to work his hiney off to get this tree to flourish, or this bush to flourish. So this talks about the need to not only ground ourselves, because we've got the foundational stuff, our need to work and work hard. Additionally, we're looking at pentacles. Pentacles are connected in with the earth. We've got double fours here still. That need to ground and center ourselves as we do this. Because when we're grounded and we feel like we're really connected in, we can then make amazing things happen. Let's look at what your shadow self wants to share. And that's the Five of Pentacles. So this is about that isolation piece. Feeling kind of isolated and almost like a spiritual poverty is kind of how I like to label this card a lot. And that's kind of how it's feeling. You're kind of really feeling stuck. Even though things are going really well, you feel stuck. This is how we're going to get unstuck, if you will. And I know that we're going to get unstuck. We have the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. In angel messages, double fives means that there's a positive change coming forward. So even though things are going well, things can continue to go well and evolve. Similar to how spring brings us beautiful things and things are starting to grow, it can go into summer, which brings even more beautiful things. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing does October hold for my Gemini friends? And that's Nightfall. It's a beautiful card, and it talks about that isolation piece, that kind of feeling like you're in the dark a bit. It's connecting into the light and that happiness, and allowing yourself that time to allow this evolution to happen. You may have to sit in this dark for a little bit longer. Work has to be done, before we can transition out of Nightfall. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on the cards. This is a group reading. However, I drew these cards especially for my Gemini friends. What further information do they share with you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for something more specific or personal, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. That said, I hope you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some more insight and direction into October. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I will continue to create fun and dynamic videos for my Zodiac friends. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you'd like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Gemini friends.